Uh-oh. Oh no, chat. Sorry, any discs but Shining Aria. My bad. Don't farm Dod's Bloom either while we are at it. Don't farm these, thank you. Where's your Beneath? Also, you hate Obel Squad. No Sambi, no Sission. Okay, you don't actually hate Obel Squad. You do have. Why do you have the brick? M4. Oh, yeah, true. It was really funny because I was like writing down like Pyro is Mindscape guide for like browse M4. And then we get this garbage. Then I get this garbage. What the fuck am I supposed to do? Okay, his M3 doesn't matter and his M4 exists. And it's garbage. Okay. Skill levels 10, 12, 12, 12, 12. That looks fine. Uh-oh. Oh no, chat. Expand your fucking hamster cages. Oh my fucking god. Expand your cage. 23! YSG. Assist EX ult to 12. You might ask why the assist. And if you have missed every single YSG stream ever, then you know why. But your entry skill up here, right? It's part of your assist. That thing is when you have 6 stacks and you switch into her, or you hold basic. A part of your damage here is locked behind your assist. So even if you don't fucking parry on her, which you probably don't unless sheer defense, you probably want that one rather close to being max. Astra doesn't matter. Actually, that is one of the best skilled Astras I've seen. Not too many points in ultimate, all 3 useless skills only at 1. And then the EX at 12. Nice. I feel like you want your seed assist to at least 11 as well. You don't need it at 12, but you do want to make sure that you have her ultimate ready for every stun window. And even with Assisia, who stuns really quick, you kind of just not only need the days for like better stun windows, especially versus like Defiler hitting 4 stuns with Assisia without all the assists maxed is kind of difficult. So, please level your assist. Your trigger is dead. How does your trigger do anything? Girl is the least scary Obel Squad member I've ever seen. Imagine a fucking sniper, but she misses. That is trigger right now. Trigger. Basics. Assist. Ult to 12. EX to 11. Aria. First of all, Shining Aria is a garbage set on basically every single fucking unit in existence. Only argument is that the 4-piece part is somewhat generic, so you could use it on either argument. No, Grace, right? You could use the 4-piece on Grace if you really would like to. Just don't. I would highly recommend you to switch this. That looks fine. I mean, if you want to, right? You have a little bit much attack. If you can get to 20 subs, you can run AP here instead. But otherwise, it's not ultra important. I personally would probably recommend you to level Ultimate. Primarily because Ultimate gives your team more energy. Then it just depends on how often you ult and whether or not that energy does something for you. Also, you can level your assist for more days. And I mean, to be fair, 34 seconds is probably enough. If you only use your EX every 34 seconds, you are losing a lot on the Moonlight Lullaby uptime, right? Which is 25 seconds. So ideally you would like to do that every 25 seconds, so you don't really need the full duration. Yijuan without signature. I mean, your subs are rather good. The problem is, here you get 10% crit rate, plus 12, right? It's 22. So you are short on nearly 20% crit rate. I would recommend you to switch to a crit rate main stat. As much as you probably don't want to, it will be a bigger increase than the crit damage. Look, you even have a good HP one here. 3280, that is... Okay, now we can get -1 crit rate, huh? That is 100% crit rate, 100% crit damage, 99, 33 subs. I think this one is better than before. I mean, you do need more crit damage subs, right? So instead of like HP plus 3, try to get like crit damage plus 3. And you need just more rolls on these 2 pieces. But otherwise, you are kind of really just handicapped by not having her signature. Yijuan gets sick. Sorry to tell you. That looks fine. I probably would get more attack and less crit damage. Depends on the team you play bro in. You also want... Oh my god, that's a really fucking good piece. That is a garbage piece. Do we have a 2-piece puffer? You don't have puffer! You have 1 piece of puffer! Puffer Electro. Pyrus, right? If you run pen d5, run 2-piece puffer. Also, you have a really good advantage right now, and that is that your d6 is kind of garbage, which allows you to exchange this, right? You have like another piece here. Oh, you don't have any resources. How much did you farm for pyroids? These are really good pieces. What the fuck? Like, you take these two, put a puffer electron there, like especially that d6 you exchange in like one day. But this one might be difficult. But the 2-piece puffer does so much if you run pen ratio, so please do that. And again, also level like bro skill.
This is your Lumi reminder. Use your cages or I will put you in a cage small.
Okay, but what if I would like to be put in a cage? 28, you can run ER. Do you have any RPs? Oh, you have any RPs. Run this. This is much better. There is literally like for Zhao, I don't even need to ask if you use anywhere else because you wouldn't. And if you do, don't do that. If you have more than 25k HP, ER and D6 is better because it gives you another YSG state. Well, possibly, assuming you manage to process this, right? Miss Elowen is running Impact. You can do that. I think I would prefer ER. So, the thing with Lucia is the Aftershock Days multiplier is 0. So, the Impact, you kind of don't want to use Ultimate outside of like stun windows because it staggers the enemy and it takes like, you kind of 10 million years. So, you would use it instead if you have nothing else to do or directly after a stun, but even then, the days is like non-existent. So the only real days you get from her is from her assist as well as from her EX. And I will tell you, increasing this, keep in mind, right? You have a base impact of 97. Let's assume it's 100 to make this easier. If you add 18% to this impact, so 100 times 1.18 is 118. Now you have your EX has a multiplier for days of 663. 118 times 6.63. That is how much days your EX does. Do you know what is more days? If you do this twice on 100. This one is more than this one. And you cannot just directly say do it twice, right? Because that's not how this works. It's more like 1.5. But I promise you, that is still more than this one. So you are much better off running ER because it makes your ER go from 187 to 266, right? So you get 2 more EX per fight. If you get 2 more EX, that is more than running the Impact here. So ER gives you more days than Impact in D6 does. Yes, Yuna, you need to farm. You got loads of... Yeah, that's the problem! Sorry, any discs but Shining Aria. My bad. Also, don't farm Dawn's Bloom either while we are at it. Don't farm these, thank you. Then we have Seed. That is not auto bet. You do have Cordis, 155. I would recommend you Astral Voice instead of Dawn's Bloom. I think your biggest problem that you have, right, comes down to your skill levels. Level your skills. You definitely need to start farming more sets. What you have is sufficient, right? Your builds aren't bad at all. They're just fine. But they could be better. Especially since you don't really have a lot of signature weapons on some units where it would be rather important, like Yijuan, right? You don't have the sig. It would be better for you to prioritize farming discs, because not having the signature often just means that you have to make up for the loss in substats. That's basically how the game works, right? On an equal playground, a signature is always, well, not always, fucking Sujan, but outside of Suzu, a signature is always a damage gain, unless you have better substats, right? Because you can make up for that. 33 subs on Yijuan are gonna deal less damage with the signature than a 40 sub one will without signature. Because substats do factually matter. 40 sub one will without signature. Any priority engine for engines you got now? Bernice. Then Bernice 6. Then Bernice M6. And then Bernice 6 W5. Nothing else matters. I suppose if you, after you have M6, W5 your Bernice. Awaken 6, yeah, that should be, no, it doesn't matter. We do critnies here. So, that being said, thank you so much for your account. Delete your account, not the account! The account wasn't that horrible. It was rather good. Thank you so much for your account. Delete your account. Not the account! The account wasn't that horrible. It was rather good.